Tragedy on a snowy California mountain. An avalanche killed one person and injured another today. Visitors at that Tahoe area ski resort watched the emergency response unfold.
There was a bunch of folks that were already up in the mountain that volunteered. I mean, they were up there for hours digging through snow trying to help out.
The person who died at the Palisades Ski Resort is from the town of Truckee in the Sierra. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. New storms hitting that area today made rescue efforts very challenging. Conditions have calmed a bit tonight in the mountains. Live images here from Olympic Valley show snow falling in that area, and there is a lot of it piling up on the roadways tonight. We do have team coverage on this tragedy tonight. KTVU meteorologist Mark Tamayo tracking conditions in the Sierra where that avalanche happened. But we begin with KTVU's Crystal Bailey, who has been following the response to that avalanche. Crystal?
Well, we're learning the man killed is 66-year-old Kenneth Kidd. He's a resident of Point Reyes and Truckee, according to the deputies with the Placer County Sheriff's Office. The avalanche happened near the famed KT-22 lift. It's the lift used for multiple expert trails along the mountain. More than 100 people were part of the search and rescue crews.
Dozens of volunteers captured working to break people free from the snow. In this video, shot by Marcus Franklin and posted on Instagram, it shows just how extensive the search was all morning in Olympic Valley. The avalanche happened at 9:30 Wednesday morning on the Palisades side of the resort. The resort announcing both sides of the mountain were closed as ski patrol and mountain operations teams began a search. Early reports indicating it happened in bounds, and there were multiple people caught in the snow.
And as I was there, I saw a snowmobile, ski patroller snowmobile, come down, towing a sled with an individual in the sled. And they went over toward the clinic by the Funitel base and put somebody on a stretcher.
The Placer County Sheriff's Office confirming one person was killed in the avalanche. President and CEO of the resort says now she's focused on caring for her team members and guests.
This is a very sad day for my team and everyone here.
The social media posts like this one from skiers say there were two different slides that were thick and rapid. Video from the Palisades Tahoe Instagram account shows crews preparing the resort for skiers, and KT-22 opened for the first day of the season.
For the past few days, they've been up there doing control work, evaluating weather conditions, setting up all the safety markings, hazard markings, etc., to get it prepared for today's opening.
And early Wednesday morning, the Sierra Avalanche Center reported considerable backcountry avalanche danger, warning of a strong winter storm bringing, quote, high-intensity snowfall and gale-force winds, forecasting avalanche danger in a variety of areas.
And the Placer County Sheriff's Office is still investigating the incident. They say at this time no one else is missing and the search is over. They have not identified the person who was injured at this time, but they say his injuries were to the leg. Two others were caught in the snow but not seriously hurt. Alex, back to you.
All right, Crystal Bailey reporting live for us tonight. Crystal, thank you. Let's turn things over now to KTVU meteorologist Mark Tamayo tracking conditions up in the Sierra. And Mark, let's talk about the conditions that led up to this avalanche today. We had a lot more new snow with this latest storm. We also had strong winds. How do those wind gusts play a role?
Yeah, the winds, Alex, if you think about it, it's a really dry snow. The snow level is dropping off quite a bit. So as a result, the wind transports all that snow, and that could lead to just its settling, and that could lead to a failure in the snowpack. So this was the scene earlier today in terms of the wind, a strong southwest wind. They did not pick up a ton of snow overnight. They picked up 3 inches of snow just over the past 24 hours as of this morning closer to Palisades. But as you can see, one of the peaks, 8,700 feet, a strong southwest wind throughout the morning hours, as you can see, 78 to 89 to 113 miles an hour to 106 miles an hour. So that potentially could carry a lot of snow that can settle in one spot, and where they have a weak base that could collapse, and that could lead to an avalanche.
That 113 mile per hour reading is really something to see.
Yeah.
We saw there in Crystal's piece that the crews up in the Tahoe area have been doing avalanche control work over the past couple of days. What kind of concerns were there about the stability of this particular snowpack? Yeah, Alex, they look at the snowpack profile. So I'm not an expert in avalanche forecaster or anything like that, but the experts, they were out in the field last week, and actually the one little piece of video we're about to show you kind of illustrates what they were tracking last week leading up to today, and that potentially could have had a factor.
what we're tracking right now is an upper faceted layer that you can see right here. And this is we're gonna see how reactive this becomes with a new load on it, and as we get more storms going into next week. So we're really watching what this one does. It's producing instabilities on snowpack tests right now. Another layer we're looking at is down below this mid-pack. This mid-pack is actually pretty strong. It's a bunch of strong snow on top of some pretty large loose grains.
And Alex, yeah, that video just illustrates the different profiles in the snowpack. And when you add, he references new load, that's a new snowfall. So we're talking about more snowfall that was a factor today, even after this event. And avalanche danger, we'll have to keep an eye on it quite a bit over the next several days.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Mark, just give us a quick sense of what we can expect here in the coming days. Another strong system headed for the Sierra here coming up this weekend. Yeah, the winter storm warning we've been talking about for today, that should expire early tomorrow morning around 1 a.m. But there is another system we'll be watching moving into Northern California that could produce more rainfall for portions of the state and some more Sierra snowfall. We'll have to keep an eye on snow levels because part of this system could be a warmer system. So we've been talking about warm storms and high elevation rainfall in the Sierra, then the snow level drops off, and all those changing conditions could lead to a change in the snowpack profile, and something we'll be watching closely. Yeah, that is the concern, certainly. All right, that's the situation in the mountains of California. We move now to Washington, and their crews resumed avalanche mitigation efforts today. These images posted to social media show how this work can include setting off explosives. Yesterday, blasts in Snoqualmie Pass helped control the flow of snow onto roadways. Crews are also using diversion dams as well as snow berms. And traffic is moving once again on Highway 2 in Stevens Pass, Washington. Heavy snow kept stretches of that highway closed during the overnight hours. That had cars backed up for miles. Traffic managers are warning drivers to be prepared for delays as new snow continues to fall in that area. Off Washington's coast, cameras captured some scary moments during stormy weather. They show a ferry taking on a whole lot of water in just a matter of minutes. As Fox 13's Lauren Donovan reports, many are questioning why that ferry was allowed to travel in those rough seas.
This particular boat, the Issaquah, is not in the best shape. Built back in 1979, it was over in Eagle Harbor for some necessary repairs. There were plenty of weather warnings this week, thus begging the question, should an aging boat like that be sailing straight into a storm?
Obviously a pretty wild ride for that crew.
Waves high enough to swamp the car deck, several feet above the waterline, consumed the Issaquah Tuesday morning as it sailed from Eagle Harbor to Anacortes. No passengers were aboard. It was a crew member who shared this wild footage to TikTok.
There were some crew members' cars on board, and they got knocked around pretty good. At least one of them had to be towed to the shop.
Up above on the passenger deck, the storm surge left the galley in shambles. Parts of the ceiling even came crashing down.
I talked to our chief engineer today. He was on board the vessel.
Ferry spokesperson Ian Sterling assured me it's a lot of little things, but nothing major. He tells me it's rare to cancel a sailing because of wind and waves. Sterling noted it's also uncommon for our fleet to travel through the Strait of Juan de Fuca.
These are big boats, really designed for inland sea crossings like the Puget Sound, and this was out of its comfort level, obviously.
I mean, we could feel the high winds here on land. What was it like out at sea?
Oh, it was pretty treacherous weather conditions.
To get a gauge on just how bad these gale winds were, we turned to the Coast Guard for answers.
When the winds start whipping down the straits, it can create, waves of 6, 8, 10, 12 feet.
Petty Officer Steve Strohmeyer says after looking at the forecast, they broadcast warnings, cautioning mariners they may encounter massive waves they're not used to.
A lot of vessels that didn't have to depart did kind of hang back and let the weather subside.
It's up to the individual captain's discretion whether they sail or not in wind and waves. In the first half of the journey went real smoothly. In the second half, not so much. As soon as they hit that open water there, where ferries normally don't travel out in the Straits of Juan de Fuca, it was a lot hairier than what was predicted.
You may be surprised to learn that boat, the Issaquah, will be back in service, I'm told, within the next 24 to 48 hours. So folks could be walking on it, driving on it by as early as tomorrow. As stated earlier, WSF defends it is safe to travel on. You should have no concerns there. Reporting in the newsroom, Lauren Donovan, Fox 13 News.
In the Bay Area, an Oakland police officer who was killed in the line of duty was praised today as a kind and generous person who wanted to help the people of that city. A memorial service today honored Officer Tuan. Lay was shot while responding to a break-in at a cannabis dispensary. KTVU's Henry Lee tells us he was remembered today for his work with the local community.
Motor officers escorted the hearse carrying the flag-draped casket of Oakland police officer Tuan Lay to Three Crosses Church in Castro Valley. Pallbearers solemnly brought the fallen officer inside, while rows of officers in dress uniforms and white gloves stood at attention outside. A final tribute to a son of Oakland who gave his life protecting the community. At one point, a rainbow graced the skies overhead.
It hits home. I come from a law enforcement family. When one officer falls, it affects us all.
And he was just so in touch with the community. And that's what I see with most of these young officers.
He loved this city, and that this city loved him.
Hundreds of officers from across the state arrived in processions, their lights from police vehicles flashing silently. California Attorney General Rob Bonta was among those paying final tribute.
Officer Lay was hardworking, dependable, driven by a desire to keep his neighbors safe.
Oakland police officers stood in formation in the rain as the procession arrived under a large American flag draped in between two fire trucks. Outside agencies patrolled Oakland streets to allow the department to grieve. Lay was shot and killed early the morning of December 29th while responding to a burglary at a cannabis business along Oakland's Embarcadero. He was working undercover and in plain clothes, driving an unmarked pickup truck. Lay leaves behind Sarah, his wife of 5 years, and mother, Han. Lay was 36 years old. In Castro Valley, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Formula One racing was supposed to give Las Vegas businesses a boost, but some business owners want compensation for what they say the event did to them. Coming up, the legal action they are threatening. Plus, we'll take you inside the world's first fully autonomous restaurant set to open soon in Southern California.
Rest assured, the police department is doing all they can to protect them. We want to bring closure to the families, so those are our priorities.
Words of reassurance from the police chief in a Central California community rocked by a quadruple homicide case. 3 of those victims were found Saturday at a home in Reedley, which is southeast of Fresno. A 4th victim was found yesterday in a garage next door to the original crime scene. A 17-year-old has now been arrested in connection with all of those killings. His mother and a man she's in a relationship with have also been charged with being accessories after the fact. Authorities have not described the circumstances surrounding those killings. Cities across the country have been struggling to handle the surge of migrants at the southern border, and now Denver Mayor Mike Johnston has asked all city departments to slash up to 15% of their budgets, saying those cuts are needed to put more money toward handling its growing migrant population. He expects migrants will cost the city $180 million this year. Tens of thousands of people have been moved from Texas to Denver over the past year. 7 buses of migrants arrived over the past weekend alone. Many of those people are living in encampments as Denver scrambles right now trying to find alternative housing options. Some House Republicans say Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas' handling of the situation at the border calls for impeachment. And they used a hearing in Washington, D.C. today to launch that impeachment effort. They're accusing Secretary Mayorkas of enacting policies that, quote, knowingly make our country less safe.
Our evidence makes it clear. Secretary Mayorkas is the architect of the devastation that we have witnessed for nearly 3 years.
During a visit to the southern border on Monday, Mayorkas blamed Republicans for getting in the way of progress reforming immigration policies that have been around for decades.
We have taken bold, necessary actions during the time that Congress has failed to act. We have established safe mobility offices to assist migrants in Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and Ecuador. implemented processes to enable different nationalities to access relief in the United States without making the perilous journey in the hands of smugglers, begun processing an historic number of refugees from our hemisphere, removed and returned historic numbers of migrants who entered illegally and failed to qualify for relief.
U.S. senators right now are negotiating a White House request for funding to address issues at the border. House Republicans have said they want tougher restrictions on asylum to be a part of any potential deal. A group of Las Vegas businesses are threatening a lawsuit for their financial losses during the Formula One races back in November. As reporter Jacqueline Schultz tells us, those businesses say customers still are not coming back.
This whole area just got destroyed. It's still not coming back. And if we have another year like this, none of us will be in business.
The iconic Batistas has lasted 50 years in the heart of the Strip. Owner Randy Markin worries if they can last another year with more F1 closures and disruptions. He estimates Batistas and Stage Door have lost $4.5 million. Workers were let go.
Business just isn't there. The locals won't come to this area still after 9 months. Just got out of control, and we all kind of got bamboozled.
Small Business Recovery Fund to reimburse those small business owners. I ask you to do the right thing for the businesses.
Batistas and several small businesses have banded together to demand action and financial assistance from the LVCVA, the Clark County Commission, and F1. In statements submitted to both governing bodies, they request a financial remedy to reimburse these small business owners for their losses and avoid a class action lawsuit. The losses among 7 small businesses total more than $20 million. The businesses include Ellis Island, the Las Vegas Souvenir Shop, and gas stations, all near Flamingo and Koval, the epicenter of F1 construction and activity. Lisa Mayo de Riso is their spokesperson.
How is it that you could help us to, or they're going to lose their businesses? Government is not supposed to pick winners and losers in the business community. That's not their job. So we're looking for a remedy.
The businesses also say the temporary F1 bridge on Flamingo drives customers away, and they want it gone before the Super Bowl. A county spokesperson says it is coming down with no word when. Though Chair Gibson declined an interview with Fox 5 at the LVCVA meeting, Mayo de Riso says Gibson is responsive to businesses' requests, and Randy Markin says Steve Hill of the LVCVA listened to his concerns.
If he understands what happened to everybody in this Flamingo corridor, felt that he could put something together that could rectify our problems.
And that was Fox 5's Jacqueline Schultz reporting for us tonight. One county commissioner says the businesses are planning to meet with county officials in the coming months to address their concerns, and the county will be reviewing the overall impact of F1 on local businesses.
And in weather, a very cold dynamic system moving into the Pacific Northwest over the next couple of days. As you can see, we're talking about winter storm warnings and winter storm watches up toward portions of Oregon and Washington as we come in closer right now. Portions of the Cascades for tomorrow with this winter storm warning. Could be talking about maybe 10 to 20 inches of snowfall. So here's the forecast model showing you the rain near the coastline, but also some snowfall developing as well. And then taking this into Thursday night, still sticking around. So take a look at a place like Seattle for tomorrow. Rain and snow, temperature of only 41 degrees, and then a chance of some snow into Friday as well. Look at those temperatures plummet in the Friday forecast back down into the 20s. So as you can see, up in Seattle today, lots of cloud cover, temperature of 44 degrees. Closer to San Francisco, had some rain showers earlier today. Temperatures still tracking some rain for tonight in the Bay Area. Temperature in San Francisco, 56 degrees. Lots of sunshine for Southern California. Temperatures on the mild side in the lower 60s in Los Angeles. So you can see the overall weather story for tomorrow. There's that cold storm dropping in from the north. So rain and snow, temperatures only in the 40s for tomorrow. And those numbers will continue to come down into Friday. Clearing skies for San Francisco. Lots of sunshine for Southern California. Looks like we could be talking about some snowfall out toward Denver for tomorrow. So here's the overall weather pattern. Some very cold air moving into the Pacific Northwest, also approaching portions of Colorado as we come in closer right now. You can see the radar right now And then moving into the Bay Area, we're tracking some rain showers out there. And of course, the winter storm warning continues in the Sierra. Here's the forecast model once again showing you the rain and snowfall developing up in the Pacific Northwest for tomorrow. And then some snow showers out toward portions of Colorado as well for Thursday and into Friday. So over the next few days, we're talking about a big drop off in those temperatures. No heat, as you can see here for San Francisco. Clearing skies, some sunshine, at least into Friday, and then we'll bring in the rain clouds, possibly another storm. In fact, a stronger storm could be moving into Northern California by Saturday. So Saturday could be a rainy day. In Denver, could be talking about some snowfall for tomorrow. And then for Phoenix and Southern California, it looks like a nice quiet weather pattern. So the stormy weather, the cold pattern up to the north, and then possibly some borderline beach weather down to the south. Alex.
All right, sticking with a lot of rain and snow here in the coming days. Mark, thank you. Up next tonight on West Coast Wrap, artificial intelligence is being put to work in one Southern California restaurant. See how it's taking orders, making food, and serving the meals. Finally tonight, the world's first fully autonomous restaurant is on the verge of welcoming customers inside. Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna shows us how AI will be serving meals in Southern California.
Piping hot and crispy French fries served fast thanks to Flippy. At Cali Express by Flippy, automation and this robot mean frozen French fries drop here. Then Flippy moves the basket into the fryer. Cameras keep an eye on the potatoes, and AI ensures they're cooked to perfection.
How, when you cook something, it impacts the quality. Like if you tie it into how the customers react to it, you could learn that to, for example, say, oh, actually customers like the fries a little crispier.
Cali Express also boasts this automated burger grill.
And as the orders come through the Pop ID kiosks, sends a signal over to the burger chef. It grinds it per patty, per order, in real time.
The burger chef is open to demonstrate how fast a Wagyu burger can be cooked and served. Both Burger Chef and Flippy could be the answer to traditional fast food restaurants worried about rising wages and worker disinterest in the jobs.
There's usually typical issues with food safety. Employees will burn their arms due to the splatter or what have you. And it's also a very grueling, task-oriented job. And it's hard to find. Even with wages increasing, people don't want to work on the grill anymore.
This is a complete game changer. I mean, you might have 6 to 12 people working in a restaurant during the rush. We have 2, maybe 3 if it's a really high capacity location.
There's more technology to order at this kiosk. Facial recognition means the Cali Express can remember you, your preferred payment method, and your favorite order. And it's as fast as 1, 2, 3.
It's looking at your face and the different landmarks that are on your face. That includes like your eyes, your nose, mouth, and chin.
But in the end, do you want technology or taste? In this case, Cali Express delivers both, making fast food faster. But until all the permits are issued, the restaurant is mostly in demo mode.
And that was Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna reporting for us tonight. The AI kitchen is visible to guests who submit their orders, and that gives customers a chance to see the robots preparing all of those meals. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. Have a great night. I'll see you back here tomorrow.